Okay Mark, having not lost since the Aberdeenshire Cup final, how big a disappointment was losing so heavily to Devonvale at the start of this year?
Well, it was a disappointment, but it was just it was a league game. It was I think it was just the scoreline and the kind of manner that we lost didn't get us off to a great start of the year, but it was just through another league game, you know, 3 points through the lost. It was just obviously the thing that will always be remembered as a result. It was a heavy defeat in the way we played. We didn't play well at all. Obviously Devonvale were very, very good in the day, and Buckie were awful, but it was just another 3 points at the end of the day. 7-0 is one of these Devonvale supporters will remember that. And so will we for a long time, but it was just 3 points really.
No, I suppose it is. It doesn't matter what you lose by, yeah. Then of course we were then looking forward to maybe getting over it against East Stirlingshire, but there was a lot of chaos surrounding that when it was supposed to be played due to the postponement. What you reflect on that, and then the carry on the game itself for the strip, etc. The
Scottish Cup was obviously really, I mean, somebody said you really couldn't have scripted it. It was, you know, you got the original game being cancelled, the carry on was strip where we couldn't wear our own kit. Come in at half time and Stuart Regan for the SFA told me that one of our players had been sent off for fighting with a teammate, which was almost unbelievable. And obviously we lost the match in a late goal. So we're all in a kind of downer, and then the following day we get a phone call from the SFA saying, you know, this looks like you could be back in the cup. So it was almost unbelievable, and it was just a stroke of good fortune really.
How hard was it to keep a lid on the fact that you knew that we were back in the cup?
Well, it was very difficult because the SFA had said that they would tell us initially within 24 hours, and then we were being told we couldn't say anything for another week because there was obviously going to be this you know, they had to meet with East Stirling. So it was a bit frustrating, but we just had to kind of, it was disappointing in a lot of ways, but we just had to wait until we had got the final conclusion for the SFA, and then we were finally told we were back in the competition.
And then a lot of sorting out to do then for the Brechin game.
Well, that was the thing that worried me was that we only had something like 9 days to arrange an all-ticket match, because we were told on the Thursday afternoon, and we were playing a week on Saturday, so it was a lot of work to get on together. But it was a good experience for what happened 3 months later when the league decided against Devonvale.
Yeah, and the game, the cup itself, good performance. Okay, they got 2 great goals, but we didn't, you know, we did ourselves proud enough.
I thought we did okay. We played all right. It was a great goal, second goal for Rory McAllister, one of the best in the Scottish Cup competition, I think. So he can't do anything, but it was just a fantastic goal. But no, the team equipped themselves very well.
And if Mo's goal had gone in, if his shot had gone in,
Mo's shot had gone in, it'd be a different game. Good save for the goalkeeper, but Brechin deserved to win, and again, best of luck to them, and they got a good payday. The disappointing bit is that Albert had been told by Sky Television had we got through, we would have been the live match, so it would have been worth a lot of money, but it wasn't to be, that was it.
Of course, we've still got a nice wee some for camera screen there, we've got a big crowd.
We got a great crowd, and it was a great day out, and the Brechin supporters loved it as well, and they came back here in a pre-season friendly, which shows that they like coming here. And as I said in the match programme, it was really just, you wanted them to have a good impression of Highland League, and I think they had that at the end of the thing.
Yeah, we've got, certainly from that side of things, but do you think the cup affected us in any way? You know,
no, not really. I just think it was just good experience again, and certainly off the park it was good preparation for what came later on.
We were a bit up and down sort of January, February, March, but we actually won more games than people thought. But I think the game against Cove was really disappointing. I mean, I think when we were 2-1 down, we got a penalty. That might have made the difference. But you feel at that point, any doubts about our title hopes in your mind?
I didn't see it that way. Kevin Small had a bit in the Press and Journal saying that it was a make or break game. I didn't personally see it that way. I thought there was still plenty of games to go. The game against Cove, if I remember, we didn't play well. Then we played well for about 10 or 15 minutes, got back at the game, got a penalty, like you say, and missed it. But overall, we probably didn't deserve to win that game. It was probably the Formartine game that was a turning point, I think, in the season.
Yeah, because we had obviously the game against the knockout by Turriff in the League Cup, which really was a poor performance. And all of a sudden it seemed to change. I don't know why that happened.
You can look back on it and say, well, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. We got knocked out the Highland League Cup. It was like that the season before when we won the league.
Of course,
we got beat by Lossiemouth. We were up 2-0 and lost 4-3, I think it was. So sometimes it's, if you're trying to win the league, sometimes it's not a bad thing to boot at these competitions. I know that you want to win them all, but if you're trying to win the league, then the priority was winning the league games for me, near the cup game.
Yeah, well, actually before that we obviously lost to Huntly in the Shield as well, a whole new team, which still should be good enough to win it, but there wasn't great disappointment about losing.
No, there wasn't.
Just the sending off probably, that was the only thing.
Right. Yeah. Stewart got sent off.
Obviously the big day came along, Vale had creeped up, they'd done massively well to get where they were, to becoming even close to us. And so can you give us an insight into what was involved trying to get that game sorted out?
Well, Devon Vale, as I said before in the papers, I thought Devon Vale did absolutely brilliant last season. Mark Chisholm was a big factor. Devon Vale's young side came through, it was something like 15 or 16 points behind us, came in an amazing winning run and went there at that league deciding game at the end. We were probably fortunate. I think that Brora beat them at Devon Vale, because Brora hadn't beaten them that day, it might have been Devon Vale that won the league. But it all came down to the final league deciding game. Fantastic climax, because Ken, we've been here for I think 9.5 years now, where I was kind of hoping one day we'd get an all ticket game, and we get 2 all ticket games in 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
So, but we knew what to do organisation wise after having the Brechin game.
Of course, that was a help, wasn't it?
It was a big help, and it was really a case of doing that. And it was frustrating in a lot of ways, because again it was 2,600 was capacity. Devon Vale got 700 tickets. We could have given them more. We could have probably got 4,000 in here, but we were limited with what we had. But overall, the whole day, the weather, the way that thing finished, it was just a fantastic occasion for the Highland League.
Great recollections, and perhaps even I thought, I don't know what you think, but I thought in the day our greater experience saw us through. We had a young team, Vale.
Aye, Devon Vale probably went ahead. Great goal again from Mark Chisholm against the run of play.
Of course, yeah.
The experience, Greg got them obviously fired up at half time. We came out, Martin Charles scored a great goal, then he hit the post, and then it was edgy right to the end of the match. Mike McKenzie had a free kick just before we scored.
That's right, that was the worry,
and he
scored
in
his territory, yeah.
Well, they might have won that. So, but then Andy Lowe's goal, I was shouting for Andy Lowe to come on about half an hour before he came on, and for us to get a free kick. So when he got a free kick, he was well, wide of the goal, but it was just a fantastic goal.
I wouldn't look out of place in the Premiership, would it?
No, I said at the time, it's like a David Beckham goal. It's a fantastic goal.
It's amazing. He was only second touch the whole game.
I know. But it was just a fitting. It was one of these things. It was fate, and it was meant to be. And to win, I think the first championship at Buckie since 1934, I think it was, or something.
At home, yeah.
At home, so it was fantastic just to be there. And there was a lot of people that missed the Wick experience.
Of course they did, didn't they? Yeah.
They're offshore, so to be here on that particular day, I think was great for a Buckie Thistle supporter.
After, shall we say, an interesting summer, we'll put it like that, always looking good on Flag Day, we beat Cove, but a lot of frustration has followed, given that we have more or less the same squad, the title winning squad, with the addition of Mark Chisholm. What do you think has caused this inconsistency this season?
I think it's very difficult to retain a title. I think we should give the whole team and the management a lot of credit for winning two leagues in a row, because if you look back in the last 20 years, I think there's only 3 teams who's done it. Buckie's done it, Cove, and I think Huntly. But they won 5 in a row. So it's very, very difficult to win it, and it's even more difficult to retain it. And every game, everybody's out to beat you. As Greg's been saying earlier this season, we've had a few rubs of the green. I mean, the first season we won it, Formartine had a penalty, if I remember, in the last minute of the game, and guy hit the post, came back and he headed it in, it got disallowed. I've never ever seen that before in football. So sometimes you get the break, sometimes you didn't. The other teams are up to beat you. It's very difficult.
And possibly this year as well, we'll be punished for every mistake we make.
Well, you're just going through spells of that, I think, at the moment.
Every team does that.
Every team has that, and it's just the way that it goes. But I just think it's very, very difficult. Buckie Thistle have I think winning it last year was only the third time in their history they've done it 2 years in a row.
Right, yeah.
So we've never done it 3 in a row, so it shows how difficult I think it is.
Oh, definitely, there's no question about that. I mean, as it stands, the title obviously looks less and less likely at this moment in time for this season anyway. So what really are the club's goals now? Any silverware, or just get us all back to level again?
You've still Greg when I give it up because he'll go to the end, but I think in the league, I didn't personally think they'll win the league.
No.
We've still got the Aberdeenshire Shield to go for and still have the Highland League Cup. But I would like to see, Greg said 2 months ago, about there's a lot of good young players, so maybe, it's up to the manager, but maybe he'll give some of them a chance before the end of the season. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, there's certainly one or two that look.
There are one or two that should go in.
Possibly you might not play them in certain bigger games, but maybe your Fort Williams and that. But if they're good enough, they should play any game.
We've just played Devonville tonight, and you just have to look. They've had to go down that route of playing younger players, and they're reaping the benefits for it now. And I think we should do the same.
Yeah, I think so as well. But say the League Cup, we haven't won it since '86, so that would be nice. Greg's never won it, obviously, as a manager. So that would be just any silverware for me is a.
Well, any silverware in the Highland League is any of the Aberdeenshires, of course, are big anyway. But any silverware in the Highland League is a successful season. No, they just we'll see. Greg hasn't won that one. We've not won. I think that's the only trophy we've not won since we've been here at Buckie. So it'd be good to win it. The last time was '86. I missed that one. I was at a wedding that day. So the only time I've seen him win a Highland League Cup was the first trophy I've seen him win in '79.
'79, of course.
With the beat Buckie Thistle. So.
I mean, the way the Highland League is, the clubs are that good that you're no guaranteed to get any success in a season. So if we do end up with nothing, then obviously that's a new challenge, isn't it, to then rebuild and move on.
Challenge. I mean, I like to think that football goes around in cycles, and it's good to see other teams, doing well this season. I think it's great that Forest are doing well, Lossiemouth, Nearin. These are teams to the north. I think it's great for the Highland League. Wick Academy, Brora had a great season last year. So I think it's good for rather than just a domination for the Aberdeenshire clubs. I think for the Highland League
and with some of our connections of boys that played for Buckie, played for Forest, I don't think we would begrudge them, would we, in any way?
I wouldn't begrudge anybody, if I win the league. But Charlie Rowley's doing well there. We've got Ryan Green, Greatmas Grant. There's a lot of guys. Charlie Brown. A lot of guys. That's at Forest. Nairn's doing really well. Lossie, there's a lot of ex-Buckie lads at Lossie.
That's right,
There's Nicky Smith and some of these lads, so they are doing well as well.
There's been a lot about this pyramid system, and it's leaving a lot of us very confused as to what's going on, and is the Highland League likely to stay as it is? What do you feel about that?
Well, there was a meeting 2 or 3 weeks ago where all the Highland League clubs was there, and the first thing I'd want to say is I thought Stuart Regan for the SFA was really, really good. He's excellent. His presentation was first class. The current situation, as far as I'm led to believe, is there's going to be a meeting next Thursday, I think it's the 5th of January, with other Highland League clubs to discuss things further. At the last meeting with Stuart Regan, he intimated that it needed an overall majority of Highland League clubs to vote for this pyramid system to go ahead. So, and there seems to be still some clarification required whether that's correct or no, but that's what he said in the night. So they're going to have to sit down and have a look at things. I would be disappointed if the Highland League itself broke away from an 18-team league, because I think it's a fantastic league. It's probably the best league in Scotland. It's most competitive, and you only play each other home and away once, which I think the fans like. If they go to a 10-team league, well, if that's what happens, that's what happens. There's not a lot we can do about it. But we'll just have to wait and see what the clubs say next Thursday. And maybe it just takes it a step further. I'm not sure if that's the be-all and end-all next Thursday, but I think it gives them an indication of what's going to happen. If it goes to a 10-team league, then, as I say, there's not a lot we can do about it. It's just, if that's what the clubs vote for, then that's football.
It seems to me that it can only go forward if it's regionalised under, say, I don't know, you'd have the Premier League First Division and then regionalised after that. It's the only way I can see it.
I think that's the way it would start off initially, but then if a team's successful, then if they get promoted for, say, the 3rd division at the 2nd, then obviously it's near regionalised, and then that's when a lot of problems start to come in. But I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. It's a difficult one. You can understand where Stuart Regan's trying to come from. He's very, very good. He's trying to push on the whole of Scottish football, not just the Highland League. But there's still a lot of discussion to take place yet, so we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of that.
It does. I mean, you sometimes see the view from the south, not so much the pyramid side, but when you win the Highland League well, that's it, you're champions, but it doesn't take you anywhere. Whereas in the Scottish Cup, it might take you to.
That's probably one of the arguments you could say for the Pyramids. If you win, the new Super League, then you've got a chance of getting promoted into the third division. So you can see for Shooter Egan's coming with that.
And yet, on the other hand, say when Martin Charlesworth was playing with Egan, he was telling us about all the trips and that, and he says that's just not the same. You having to go to Berwick on a Tuesday night, it would kill a lot of clubs.
I think the first thing you've got to look at here is it's okay looking and saying, okay, we might get promoted into the third division, but ultimately the immediate thing is going to be, the immediate change is going to be, if they change it from an 18-team league, you're playing a 10-team league, whether it's a Super League or whether it's left behind league. So that's the first immediate change. If somebody gets promoted, then you've still a fair bit of work to get promoted, so there's still a bit of work to do. So the immediate change in 2 years could be that it's just a 10-team league that you're playing in, which is 4 times a season you're playing each other in the league. Then I think that's what fans want to see.
I don't think it works in the SPL, never mind anything else.
It's not working particularly well in the SPL, but at the end of the day, if that's the way that the clubs decide to go, then that's the way the thing will go.
At the end of the day, do you think, unless it gets the backing, say a higher level of Celtic and Rangers, is it going to happen? Because that would change the SPL as well.
Well, that's the next thing. The Highland League clubs are likely to vote, but then I think the Scottish League clubs will still have to vote for it as well. So are they going to vote for it? I'm not sure. It's all unknown at the moment. We just have to really wait and see what happens.
Because all the smaller clubs will want their 2 or 3 games against at home to Rangers and Celtic because it brings in the money. If you're just playing them once.
Well, I think some of the problems at the moment Scottish Football was actually at the top of Scottish Football for they could actually be deemed expanding it to a 16 or 18 team league, but that's not going to happen shortly because they've just voted for a new 5-year telly deal thing, so that's not going to happen. But the SFA are trying to make progress. I think Stuart Egan has made a lot of progress in the time he's been here. I think he's been here for 18 months and he's done a lot. So when you go and listen to the guy, you can see this is a guy that's definitely going places, and if anybody's got to change Scottish football in the long term, I think Shooter Egan's the guy that's probably got to do it.
He seems to be that, doesn't he? Yeah, he seems to be. Yeah. Oh well, we'll just have to see how it progresses.
Finally, we played Devonville tonight. It was a pretty wild night, so we say. Unless you were in the stand, you were pretty soaked. Is this an idea of summer football?
Well, summer fit was just one of the things I've been harping on about for a long time, and it seems to be gaining momentum with quite a few people. There's a lot of traditionalists that want to keep playing fit in the winter, and I can understand that as well, because one of the main arguments seems to be when do you take holidays and stuff for the players, and even for ourselves as a committee, it's good to get a break in the summer. But I just think from a commercial point of view, when you're dealing with running the club and looking at the finances of clubs, I just think that summer football is a better option. You go along tonight, I think both teams, Devonville and Buckie, deserve a lot of credit for really putting on a good display. You've seen the referee coming in the end of the boardroom end of the game, and he's absolutely frozen. So there's no real enjoyment in going along and watching getting frozen. I think it's more enjoyable in the summer. I think it's not quite as maybe not quite as windy. It's maybe an argument. Scotland's near the best conditions as it is, but it's something that maybe should be looking at. It's something that's in Henry McLeish's report. So if the SFA are looking to change things overall, maybe it's something they should be thinking about as well. But again, I think it might happen, but it could be a few years away. It maybe would happen if the top teams changed it.
Yeah, that's it. Unless
they change it. But they've done it in the League of Ireland, and it's been very, very popular. The crowds are well up, and I think there's a lot of positives for it. But I just think overall you'll see a better product in the pitch. I think if you're playing the summer as well.
Well, that's the question. Sports probably talking much about is club licensing. Next few years will be a big few years for the Highland League clubs. How are we getting on with that?
Well, we're getting on quite well with it. It's a lot of work because club licensing is a new thing that's been brought in. Again, Stuart Egan told us that I think it's season 2015-16, all clubs have to be licensed to get in the Scottish Cup. So club licensing means it's not just what a football club's doing, it's the youth side of it. You've got your coaching certificates, health and safety, ground criteria. It goes on and on and on. There's a lot of work in it. Buckie Thistle are not too far away. We've done, David Finlay-Paro has done a magnificent job in the last 7 or 8 years getting all his coaching badges, and the coaches are doing very, very well with that. But we still have certain things to do to the ground, whether it's maybe slightly improving floodlights or putting in more toilet facilities. Every club's got a lot of that to do. There are grants available, but it still means that clubs have got to go and raise a lot of money themselves, and it's a big enough job actually to raise money to run a football club. So it's not easy, but these things are coming in, and you really just have to go with the changes that are coming in, and you know, I think the majority of clubs eventually will get there. It just takes a bit of work to get there.
No, I mean you know yourself probably that certainly the Victoria Park has got a lot of potential. It's a huge ground, but you'll know that you can't run before you walk. You have to do it stage by stage.
Well, as far as the money again, it comes down to money. As I say, if someone's got to cost say 50,000 and you're going to get half at a grant, you still have to find 25 or 30 grand. So it's a lot of money, and it's volunteers like ourselves. We didn't get paid for what we're doing. So this is why it annoys me at times that people here go, we had this at our AGM and stuff, and you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I think we've also got to appreciate that we're giving up our personal time here. We're not get paid for what we do, and everybody in the Highland League's the same. So I think that sometimes there should be a wee bit more appreciation for what the guys are doing. Maybe we're at the top and folk just like to knock you, but at the end of the day, you know, we have done a tremendous amount of work here in the time we've been here. The facilities have just been, we've taken a club for the dark ages as far as I'm concerned, and brought it into the 21st century, if I want to say. So, but there still has to be a bit more done yet, but they're quite fortunate with us because things like the function halls got disabled toilets, which would be required if we didn't have that. So
yeah. I mean that's the sort of thing. I mean I see. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, fans live in success and they see what's happening now. But as I've said before, if you consider where we were probably the mid-90s, we didn't have a successful team on the park. We didn't have all these facilities. So I mean, people should maybe remember that and just accept that you're not going to win, might not necessarily win something all season, but you should see what we're doing behind the scenes to try and bring it on.
Well, we've not got any right to win
anything
any season. At the end of the day, that's what football is all about. But if you look at the bigger picture, like Derrenville tonight, I mean, they've done Eddie. Was doing here. He did a fantastic job at Derrenville. Eddie Bruce built the stand and did the ground up, and they were a bit ahead of us. And you know, we had a lot of work to catch them up because we had nothing really here apart from the enclosure and the stand. The stand's almost 100 years old here at Buckie.
It is almost.
So
yeah.
The renovation work got started with Raymond Carter before we came in. He did a good job with that, and Alan Scott and Billy Anderson really, I think, were the ones that got the football side that started.
Did, yeah.
Obviously they left, which is disappointing, and when we came in it was a major rebuild, but we've done a lot of work, and it's off the park as much as on the park. I think off the park at Buckie Thistle, Malcolm Cowie came back from New Zealand and just couldn't believe the difference in the ground. Sometimes it takes somebody from outside that hasn't been here for a while to get the realistic picture, and he couldn't believe it. Every time he came back there was something else had happened. So we've done made a lot of progress, but at the end of the day there's still a bit of work to be done.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally, I'll get off last message to the supporters. 2012's coming around. 2011's been some season, 2 league titles in the trot. Don't think anyone would have predicted that. Greg Carl's 4 league titles now.
Well, Greg Carl's 4 league titles fantastic. Just you can, as I said before, in history he'll go down as one of the best mans in the Highland League ever. To win it Buckie Thistle was a major achievement because it was a major monkey on the club's back, if you like. And I remember when I phoned him before he agreed to take the job. I phoned him when I was on holiday in America, and I said to him, if you won the league at Buckie, you'd have legendary status, and that always was the case. This year started off getting probably the worst results of our history, getting beat by Derrenville, and it's finished off by getting beat by Derrenville in a really good match, I think, tonight. But it's been a successful year, winning the league for a second time, and winning it at Buckie is one of these things that will never be forgotten. Andy Lowe's goal will never be forgotten with the fans, and I would just like to thank all the fans for their support through the year. I think they've been fantastic, home and away, as they always are. And I want to thank them. I want to thank fans at our Highland League clubs, because I think they do, supporting all the clubs in the Highland League. I think it's a great league, and whether you're supporting Wick Academy or Fort William or Buckie or Derrenville or whoever else it is, I think they should continue to support the local clubs, because that's what Highland League is about local football and really doing their bit for the community. So I just want to wish everybody a very happy new year, and see them all hopefully in 2012.
Cheers, Mark, and happy new year yourself.
And happy new year, yeah.